Hi, my name is Beth Lange. I'm a sales director from Concordia, Missouri, an hour east of Kansas City in rural Missouri. I've been building my business for almost 18 years, 14 of them in the suburban Detroit area, 4 in a small rural town called Concordia. So, what I love about that story is that I have shown that Mary Kay works if you do, regardless of the environment, the circumstances, your background. And today I am excited to share with you what I think is really one of the most important skills you can learn as a consultant now if you want to grow and flourish and enjoy all the benefits of a Mary Kay business. I began my business when my children were 7, 4, and 2 to make a little extra income. I had decided to leave my full-time job as a school administrator to be home with my kids, but that meant going from two paychecks to one, and a loss of a lot of income. And so when I met Mary Kay, even though I wasn't looking for a job, I was very dissatisfied with the situation with finances with our family. And so I joined simply because I wanted to make $50 extra a month so I could have some cash in my purse that no one else could know about, but I could just use it when I wanted to buy a coffee or some extra fun little thing. There was no room in our budget for that when I started. So that's why I started almost 18 years ago. What I chose to do very early on was learn everything that was taught to me, including the topic I'm going to share with you today, which is money management. I came into Mary Kay being pretty good with our home finances, but the soundtrack that I had about money in my mind was, I'm not really great with numbers. I'm not really a detail person. It'll all just kind of work out. And so when I learned these skills, I chose to change the soundtrack about money in my mind, which may be where you need to be today. You may be watching this holding a lot of shame about money. Maybe you came into Mary Kay with some shame. Maybe you came in with some poor money management skills. Maybe you came in and you're fantastic with it. And this is just going to affirm all of what you are currently doing. But I have found, as I have taught this to both consultants building teams, DIQs, and directors, that it doesn't matter where you're at on the career path, if you have poor money soundtracks on your brain, you have the potential for a lot of added stress in your life and missing out on all the benefits of Mary Kay. When I started my business, as I said, I learned the ropes. I chose to just do what my director told me to do. And within a year, I had earned my first free car. We have now earned 9 cars. We're in the process of earning our 10th, which is it'll be our 4th pink Cadillac. And I became a sales director several months after earning my first car. And so my income increased very quickly. And it was very important that I had these skills because, as it tells us in the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so if you would like to enjoy the abundance of money in your business, it's so important that you understand these skills. So I'm going to dive in here today, teaching you a tool called the Business Tracking Register and the power of the 60-40 split. You may have heard this before. You may have heard 60-40, work your money with a 60-40 split. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. And I'm going to start by showing you something right from the Mary Kay website. This is under Mary Kay University, under follow-up after a class, money management. This is a real simple tool called the 60-40 split. What you need to understand is that when you get money, you need to know what to do with it. I have consultants that have shared with me over the years, gosh, I'm selling, but I'm not making any money. Oftentimes that happens because, 100% that happens because you don't know what to do with it and how to track it and how to manage it. So whether you sell a mascara or you sell an entire roll-up bag, you need to know where to put your money. So it's simply this. Let me show you. Mary Kay encourages that you divide the money that you receive when you sell products into 2 categories, actually 3, 60%, 40%, and the 60% has 2 parts. So let's look at the screen and you can see exactly what this looks like. So Mary Kay, when you sell product, we're going to pretend that you have sold $100 worth of product. When you bring that money home, you've collected $100 plus the amount of sales tax that your state charges. You've got that money. Let's pretend like you've got it in your hand. Half of that money, so $50, is going to go into a Mary Kay checking account. This is going to be in this checking account. So when you're ready to reorder and restock your product, you've got money in your checking account. You're going to take 10% of that $100, which is $10. You're going to put that, you can either put it in that same account or a separate savings account. And this is going to be for business expenses, sales aids, catalogs, Zoom registration, you name it. Anything that's a business expense, you're going to set 10% of your sales aside for that. And then the 40% that's left, that's your paycheck. We call that your abundance account. So real simple, 60% goes back into your business, 40% is your paycheck. And I want you to know that 10%, some people choose to do a little bit less than that, certainly don't want to do more than that. So that's how you divide it up. Let's look at the strategy a little bit closer at another different angle. So we've got a little pie chart here, 60% for your business, 40% for your abundance. What do you do with that 60%? As I've said, 50% is going to restock your inventory. 10% is going to go into business expenses. That simple. So look at this. This gives you an example of $1,000 week. If you sold $1,000 in a week, you'd have $500 that would go into restocking your inventory. 10% of that, 100, would be for other business expenses. And then you've got $400 income. And you get to choose what you do with that $400. So there's a tool that I use that Mary Kay had when I was a new consultant called the Business Tracking Register. It is a simple, it's like a glorified checkbook. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let me get out of this screen. You can find this on my website, bethlange.com, under new consultants. You go all the way to the bottom of the screen. There's a link you can click on. It's called the Business Tracking Register. And it simply takes the 60-40 split idea that I just showed you and gives you a place to track your own sales. I would encourage you, if you are struggling to look and understand and comprehend where is my money going, to take a month of your sales and do pencil to paper with this. You can then move it to something electronic. Some people like to do Excel spreadsheets. Other people, there's lots of different ways you can track this. I found people's minds kind of work differently, but this tool is what I used as a brand new consultant. And let me tell you what learning this tool did for me. Number one, it convinced me that Mary Kay worked. I could see pencil and paper that this worked. Second, it proved to my husband that it worked. As I tracked my sales on this piece of paper and watched this last column grow, which is the abundance profit column, my husband believed that it worked because there was evidence. One night he looked over my shoulder as I was after a late night party filling this out, which was not normal for me to stay up late. Also not normal for me to be excited about details, but because I was a professional right out of the gate, I chose to use this skill. I had evidence that he could see that Mary Kay worked. So when he saw me leaving and working around our busy families' lives, he was a pastor. I have 3 little kids involved in all kinds of stuff. He was like, wow, this really works. And Beth is able to do it in the middle of all the other things that she's doing. The third thing that it did is it helped me recruit. I told you that I earned my first car within my first year of Mary Kay. And many of you know that to earn a car, you need to both sell and team build. Having this tool that I'm going to walk you through what it looks like helped me recruit because I could prove to people, even though I was a brand new consultant, even though I didn't know everything about Mary Kay, I was selling product because we know the product sells itself when you put yourself in front of enough people. And so I was recruiting. So people are going, gosh, it's working for Beth in her situation. So it grew my confidence. It helped enroll the support of my husband and the people around me, and it helped me recruit. Do you need any more evidence for why this is such a great tool? So let's just quickly look at this tool. It's called the Business Tracking Register. It has all the columns that I just shared. It has a place for you to share the reason that you sold. So I would put the name right in here. The next column is the sales column. How much did I sell before tax? It went in that column. The third column is where you would put the sales tax that you collected. And then the last three columns are the place that you record what you do with your money that you just brought home. 50% of that we talked about goes into restocking your inventory. 10% of that goes to sales aids. And then this last column is your business income. What I love about this tool is it keeps you honest. So what you are going to realize as you're selling product, all of these columns are going to be growing. All of them are going to be growing. And at some point, you're going to need to order. When you place your product order from Mary Kay, you're simply going to take the receipts of everything that you've sold, restock, enter all of that product into your order. That amount should be what is in your column and your sales tax column. That's the amount when you go to checkout plus shipping. If you've got more than that, then you've done some shopping for yourself. You said, oh, I want to add a couple of those for me and a couple of those for me, which is 100% fine. But that money, you have to know, is going to come out of your income. So what can happen if somebody places an order, uses all the money in their account, which means they've spent every single column, they have spent both the money that was supposed to be set aside for product plus their income. So as you can tell by this chart, they've made money. They have just chosen to put it back into product. So if your husband or your mom or whoever is mentoring or supporting you in your business is, where'd that money go? You have evidence to go, well, I chose to reinvest it in product. You've got evidence. Or maybe you say, you know what? Actually, I used that $400 that was my profit and it paid our heat bill. My first winter as a consultant, we had a super cold winter and our furnace, our gas bill was ginormous. I needed the profit from my business to pay that because it was not in our budget. And so it came out of my profit column. Isn't that exciting? Such a powerful tool. I'm going to stop sharing this. Again, business tracking register, my website, Beth, B-E-T-H, Lange, Lange.com. This is a Mary Kay tool. It's been around for a million years. You can most easily find it probably on my website under new consultant. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so here's my business tracking register from when I was a brand new consultant. Let me see, where's my first page? All right, so this September, here we go. I want to show you my first page. September 2003 is when I started my business. Look at that. 9/11 was my first facial. All right, I sold $100. I collected sales tax, $625. $50 went to restocking. I have my my sales aid and expenses in two separate columns. You can put them in one. So that was $5 a piece in each, so 10. And my paycheck was $40. I remember that so clearly. My neighbor came over. I dumped out my starter kit and said, here, let's wash our face. She's like, this stuff feels awesome, and bought $100. I was like, this is good. But this was so fun for me right out of the gate. I was able to go, I just made $40 when my neighbor came over and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Dumped my stuff on the table, told her how I wash my face and how good it felt, put on a little color, and off she went, walked back across the street. And I had almost hit my first monthly goal, which was to make $50 a month. Isn't that exciting? So ladies, I have, as I said at the beginning, I have watched a lot of consultants come into Mary Kay with poor soundtracks about money in their minds. And so I want to tell you today, it is a new day. It is a fresh start. Whether you have in the past made choices you're not proud of with money, maybe you came into Mary Kay to help pay off some debt of some choices you've made or had to make. We've certainly had seasons in our life with health crisis, appliance crisis, you name it, where we have had to spend a lot of money. It doesn't matter what you've come into with Mary Kay. Today is a new day, and you get to embrace some new thoughts in your mind. I'm smart. I'm good with money. I'm disciplined to track my money on a daily basis with each sale. I will see abundance when I pay attention to what I'm tracking. We always say in Mary Kay, a tracked number grows. So whether you're a brand new consultant, you're a seasoned consultant, maybe you're a sales director watching this, and you go, you know what, it's time to start something new. This is not a hard concept and you can grasp it. But I will tell you, it is much easier to start a habit when the numbers are small. And so then when you're blessed abundantly with higher sales, with more commission because of team building, because of the recruits you'll bring in, you are going to more faithfully manage the money that you have been given. God tells us to whom much is given, much is required. That means we want to be responsible business owners. We want to work with integrity. We want to work with confidence in this area, and we want to make good choices. The place I want to land with is that sometimes in our business, we may be tempted to spend our money simply because we want to hit that goal. We might not need product. We might not be in a place where we're even interested in doing more with our business, but we are enticed by a carrot that Mary Kay gives, which are very helpful and quite motivating to many of us. But we want to make sure we're hitting those targets with integrity. Mary Kay's Ash would never want any of her consultants to have accrued debt because of building a business, only if it's going to serve the purpose of moving you forward. So I've had consultants that have proven by their activity, gosh, I need more inventory. I'm doing way too much shipping on smaller orders, so I need to increase my inventory. So they make that decision. Or consultants that have lost a job and go, I got to up my activity and I need the inventory to support that. 100%, that is a smart thing to do. But if you're making choices just to hit a goal, it's never going to be worth it. Ever. So work with integrity. That is exactly what Mary Kay Ash would want. She wanted to see her consultants being able to make choices for her family. She wanted to see consultants that were able to live out their values of God first, family second, and career third. She wanted that for you. And the way you're going to be able to do that is by embracing this skill of great money management using the 60-40 split. If you have other questions, talk to your director about this, reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you about it. And again, I want to remind you, it's a brand new day. It's a fresh start. It is time for you, if you have not embraced this skill, to go, today's the day, because I'm a smart woman. I'm amazing. I am a professional, and I'm ready to show up for the abundance that is available to me through this business. Have a great day.